Abby, Claire said that she thought she saw a tree move. Brooke called out to their older sister. Hearing what Brooke said, everyone turned to look at Claire. Having the group look at her in confusion was embarrassing and caused her to blush. Claire looked down at the moss, hoping they'd stop looking at her. Is that true? Abby asked. Not wanting to look at the others, Claire just shrugged her shoulders. It's probably just my imagination. She couldn't help it near the end, lifting her head to ask Abby, trees can't move, right? They stopped walking after Claire admitted to what she thought she saw in the forest. Abby turned to Astrid. What do you think? I haven't seen anything like that before. Astrid raised his shoulders. Personally, I haven't encountered anything like that. But I do hear stories of monsters that exceed our imaginations. With Astrid's words, Abby didn't appear to like that answer. What do you think? Tommy asked Abby. Do we check it out? He then looked in the direction of where Claire had indicated the monsters had been sighted. Abby shook her head. No. If what Claire saw was actually a monster, with the appearance of a tree, then it'll more than likely come to us. Don't you think that's a bad idea? Just having a monster follow us? Bill raised an eyebrow and waved towards the forest. What would you have us do? Abby asked. I don't know, maybe go off and fight the monster? Bill suggested, though he wavered in conviction as to whether his suggestion was a good one. Abby sighed. Raising two fingers, she said, the first problem is that if it's a monster that resembles a tree, then how are we going to find it? And the second is whether this thing is something that has no intention to harm us, but is more powerful than what we could deal with. Realizing his mistake in thinking, Bill's eyes widened. Exactly, Abby nodded. Maybe I just imagined it. I mean, this forest just looks the same, and shadows do play tricks. Claire tried to say, not wanting things to escalate anymore. Tommy smiled understandingly. The problem is that we can't do that. It'd be more dangerous to treat something as dangerous as a monster as just a figment of your imagination. That's right. Abby directed her attention to Claire. There's nothing wrong with pointing out something. Even if it turns out to be nothing, then at least we develop more experience at dealing with unexpected threats. She tried to comfort Claire. Do we keep on going in the direction we've been going? Rita asked. Abby nodded. Until something changes, we'll keep going forward. Just now, make sure to keep an eye out for any threats. Tilting her head as though remembering something, Abby asked Astrid, have either of you sensed anything? Both Astrid and Frida shook their heads. Sighing, Abby said, let's just keep going. She began walking the direction they'd been going. Seeing everyone tense up from the news that she provided, Claire felt embarrassed. No, Abby is right. I should try to keep an open mind while out here, Claire said to herself. Taking one last look to where she thought the tree had moved, Claire followed after everyone else. A wind gently blew through the forest, refreshing everyone as they progressed through the forest. It had been such an innocent thing that helped to lift the dark cloud that hovered over them. though they were watching out for the monster that Claire had thought she'd seen. It appeared to also give them something to focus on. After the morning where they recovered from the night before, their encounter with the monster had still left an effect on their mind. When Claire spotted movement again, a feeling of anxiety and dread welled up from deep inside of her. She half expected to witness the monster making its way towards them, navigating between the massive trees. Turning ahead, Claire's eyes widened in surprise by what she had witnessed.